Hello everyone, my name is Melarim and I'm currently a challenger player on the EOS server. I'm also the admin of the TFT Wholesome community on Discord, in which people help each other with their TFT related struggles. I also do one-on-one coaching sessions and will provide you with video commentary on your gameplay if you want so. And today I will take a look at one of Geraldo's games. He's a member of the TFT Wholesome community as well, and I believe he's currently ranked at silver. And although he finished second this game by going 4 ninjas and 6 assassins, he thinks he can still improve on a few things. So let's see if we can help him and let's get right into it. Just a quick side note here. I've muted his sound, his game sound he provided with me. This is because I already made a commentary for like 5 minutes on his video, and I found that the Discord sounds on this background were a little bit too disruptive for my commentary. So for now, you're only gonna hear my voice, which might be a bit boring. Maybe next time I'll opt into putting a nice calm music on the background. Uh, just keep in mind I'm fairly new to making commentaries like this, so I just need to find the right formula for what is best. But I'll probably learn along the way. If I feel the need to pause the game or the video here to explain some things, I will. That being said, though, uh, another user on our Discord, he gave me a good tip on my last commentary I made. He said that my pauses were a bit too long, and I dwelled a bit too long on a few points I made. So if I can, I'll let the video play on its own and provide commentary like that. If I feel that I need to focus on the things I'm going to say, I will pause it definitely. But yeah, I'll keep them short, guys. No worries. So let's see here. It's the first PvP round. He's selling units. So yeah, this is gonna be my first boss already. If you level here and you put the Lucian in, you got the very strong early 3 noble and 2 knight combo, right? And you even got a level 2 Darius. I think there are hardly any comms that are gonna beat your comp this early in the game. Instead, you're not going to level, which I think is a mistake. And even though if you have a reason for not leveling, which is fine, you should definitely put the Lucian in for the Fiora, right? Because Lucian is a much better unit. So he got a Ari with a Luden's Echo. Okay, he lost this game. Also remember to always buy out the shop if you have gold left over. If you're not gonna make a gold by econing, then always buy out the shop, right? Especially now because you have the 2 Kha'Zix, and maybe if you find some more Kassadins, then you can opt to go for it. Okay, so you level here, which is a really good decision, right? Because you're almost in a sense you're correcting your own mistake from the first stage. So now you have 3 noble and 2 knight. You're very strong, even though you don't have any items to put on your units, because you went the Shen with the spatula first, right? I think going spatula on the first carousel is not necessarily the end of the world, but it's hard to make any items if you do that, right? Because you're not going to combine the spatula, let's say, with the Negatron cloak right away. Because you might want to save the spatula for another spatula, so you get the item which gives you an extra unit, right? Force of nature. Let's say if you would have gotten a recurve bow, you could have opted into making a blade master already, but then you're kind of forced to go blade master this early in the game, after the first three keep rounds. I think for the early game, it's much better to find as much pairs as you can, even though there's not much synergy, and then wait for the mid game and then decide what comp you're going to do. So this person is also really strong. Kinda sucks because you won the last round. It's fine because you have 88 health and you're in a good position for the first carousel. So I would have, yeah, definitely taken the spatula. Good. So now you always have one X unit on the board in comparison to your opponents. You should always aim to, I think, level aggressively as well, so that you're sure that you always have an extra unit on the board. So you definitely level here. It's perfect interval. You only need 4 XP. You still win though. Okay. If you win your round, you're always right. In my book. That being said, to only have to spend 4 gold on a level, I mean, you always do it, right? Because you guarantee you're gonna win. Because who else has a force of nature this early in the game? It's really strong. You're in a good position. And if you can, make your own position even stronger, right? Because either lose streaking or win streaking is really strong. Because you want to build up econ as fast as possible. You already have a little econ going, which is nice. I think you should always aim to have at least 10 gold before the Crux round and start econ after that. You picked up Knights, you picked up a Z, strong unit as well. Another Gangplank, nice, and Lucian, really strong. Mordekaiser as well. So you decide to go 3 nobles and 4 knights. I think you should always play the guy 6 level 2 here, right? Such a strong unit. You can probably go 2 knights at this stage. Because even though you're really tanky and you have 3 nobles, there is not a lot of damage on your team, right? You're just tanky at this moment. If you would put the Kha'Zix in, uh, yeah, there's gonna be your damage, right? You have items for Luden's Echo on the bench. Definitely make a Luden's Echo on Lucian. That would also solve the problem of who's gonna deal the damage on your team. You could have also made a Hush. Very good item as well. I think the most common mistake lower rank people make is dwelling too long on the items they have on the bench and not combining the items you got from the creep rounds. Wow. So at this point you can, yeah, I think you realize this well, that this at this point with those kind of shops it's good to go assassins, right? At least for now. You got two pikes as well. I got an upgraded Kha'Zix, upgraded Zed. You have the 4 knights. Now, at this point, you're really, really, really strong. I think maybe now that you have the assassin bases, the items you have on the bench are not really assassin items. Still, you could have made the Ludens for Kha'Zix. It's not bad. That being said, I think at this point, now you decided to go assassin and you high rolled again for a pike. You should wait on the next carousel and pick up a giant's belt so you can put it on the pike. Yeah, I think you're thinking the same at this point. So you're very strong and you made a lot of right decisions except for this one. There's no need to make an item right now. There is a carousel next round. After that you can see what item is optimal for you. I think the most optimal item, like I explained, is the giant's belt for the pike, because if the pike can stun and apply Morellos on a lot of units on an enemy team, I mean, at that point you're just golden, right? So if there's a carousel or a creep round this short away, then always wait and don't rush in making those items. Still, you're in a very good position. There's nothing to worry about. You got another Z. So Z level 3 is a real thing. I think at this point you can just sell the Gangplanks, right? Yeah. Yeah, good job. So I'm actually surprised that for a silver player, with all due respect of course, that your thinking and the decisions you made are very, very clear. Yeah, you're just demolishing the enemy team. Very nice. Make sure to make a gold here, right? You have 16 gold, you can sell the cannon and also the Mordekaiser. Because even though Mordekaiser is far away, I mean close to being an upgrade, I think you're not going to go for knights in this comp. Because you have a strong assassin basis. Usually go brawler with assassins. I think for now knights are fine, but the Darius and the Garen are definitely going to fall off late. So at this point you also want to start looking for a Sejuani. Poppy is really strong knight unit, and kill obviously. It's just that I rarely see assassin with knights. Could be strong though. And you also have the Karthus now. Yeah, because I already know from your description you went for ninja. Oh, what did you do here? Okay. So first you made a calculus mistake, which is fine. Now you have to sell the puppy, of which you had a pair. And puppy is a bit stronger than Mordekai's, right? So you don't want to sell the pair of the puppy. Then again, you don't need to level. It's a creep round, right? It's a free round in which you're guaranteed to take no damage. So you can just econ here, right? You have 21 gold at the start of the round here. Could you have made 30? maybe if you sold the cannon and the Shens. At this point, I would have already sold the Shen with the BF on it. Because you don't want to put any items on Shen. Because personally, I think Shen is a bad unit in the game. So yeah, you have a pair of Shens. Just sell the one with the BF sword on it and use it on a carry. Like your Zed, you're probably gonna 3-star, right? So always econ here and wait after the creep rounds to level. Okay? You level during the creep round, which gives you a bit more time after it, I guess. But you don't have any gold to roll with, so you don't need that time. If you would have econ, you would have made at least 2 gold. And you would have been at 9 here, I think. It's another Z. So you're really close to having a Z level 3. I think what I've read from your description, you decided at that point that, yeah, Z is gonna be your main carry, which is the right decision. Overall, I think Zed is a decent unit. He's usually not the carry in a assassin comp, but he can be if you 3-star him and put the right items on him. Hash is a decent item on Zed for sure. I think at this point you want to look for maybe rapid fire cannon and a infinity edge. And if you would have not put the Hash on Zed, you could have made a GA on him as well. Or a BF sword. Not BF, a Bloodthirster. So let's see. You have 8 units on the board. Really strong. You have the 3 assassins. Let's see. Oh, you have Imperial with Darius. Okay. I think you still need to put the Kazakhs in. You still need to because you want to apply Imperial buff for like a strong Imperial. At this point, your Darius level 2 is just a tank, right? He's not going to do a lot of damage, even with the Imperial buff. Same goes for Keda level 1. Keda level 1 with no items is really bad. So you can just get rid of the Imperial buff here by switching out Kha'Zix for Katarina, most definitely, because the Kha'Zix level 2 is much better than the Katarina. So you roll here, find the Z, very good. Should be really strong here. I think at this point you might want to keep your Knight frontline. You still need to find the better Knights for sure. You get demolished. Like the Sejuani and then upgrade a Poppy. And then maybe go for 2 Knights. You could still go for Void. Because you have the Kha'Zix. And then you could have picked up Rek'Sai and Cho'Gath for Void. At this point you're really strong, but there are still a lot of choices you need to make for yourself. Pick up the recurve bow, okay. Probably the best thing you could have done. There's the puppy. Yeah, I know you're gonna go ninjas. I don't think ninjas is pretty strong. It might be, because you have the set level 3, you're gonna make him the carry, right? Yeah. Putting the recurve bow on Zed is fine. But I think you should have definitely waited on the creep round at 4-6. See what items you got there. Because a rapid fire cannon is much better than a shiv. Uh, Also, you could have maybe used the tier for something else. Maybe make another Hush or a Ceres if you decide to keep the Phantom with Gardas. But I think you can sell the bike here and the cannon and the shins for Econ. I would have done it for sure. But yeah, you're going for the ninja route. Oh yeah, you have a really strong comp. Still make sure to put in the Kha'Zix for catering next time, right? Because you don't always put in the units you have for the scenes you can get, right? So at this point you're just tunnel vision on the Imperial buff and think, oh nice, I have another synergy on the board. But you also have to think about, does this synergy really make me stronger? In this case it doesn't, because the Keda level 1 is really weak, especially without items. Keda need items to work. But yeah, you picked up the Sedge really good. I think overall you really recognize what you need to do at certain stages. Show here. Maybe it's a little bit too late to go for it. Uh, Maybe I didn't saw the Rek'Sai. I think with the Cho'Gath and Rek'Sai in one shop, definitely go for it. Okay. Void is really strong, especially because it's a noble meta and Void does true damage. You already have a level 2 Kha'Zix. You find a Cho'Gath here and a Rek'Sai, so you can remove two of the weaker knights for the Brawler and Void bonus, right? And the only thing you have to do is switch out two knights. And Garen is falling off anyways, okay? Because Garen without 6 noble buff, you don't need to keep that in for late game. I think the same thing goes for Darius. Mid and late game, not such a great unit. You only want to keep him for late if you are going full Imperial or if you go to Imperial with a Draven carry. Because you still have the Cardis, you keep the Mordekai's, which is fine. Kinda sucks though that you don't have level 2, but it's fine. I think you only want it there for the Phantom buff, and Phantom buff is really strong. Oh, you don't have a puppy anymore. So what you need to do is recognize what units are stronger early, mid game, and late game. You still have the shit on the board though. At this point it's just wasted gold, in my opinion. Okay, you're rolling, which is fine. Because you still haven't decided on a final comp. I mean, I think by now you want to go, you decide for yourself you want to go Assassin Ninja. Don't forget your items though, because you have Morelos on the bench. You could have made the Morelos on the Cartus or on the Pike. But I think eventually you want to sell the Carthus and the Mordekaiser. Because Phantom gets less strong the more units other guys have. Plus a level 1 Carthus is really unreliable, and the same goes for a level 1 Mordekaiser. Yeah, so you have a hard time to decide what to do. I feel like. You have a lot of gold on the bench, which you are not using. Um, I think you also tunnel a bit too much on getting units to level 3. The fact that you have a level 3 set is really good, but that was really handed to you, right? Because you had multiple shops where you had like two sets. I think having then one level 3 unit in your team is fine. You don't have to pursue other level 3 units. So at that point you're just collecting champions and keeping them on your bench, and you could have made them, you could have sold them to mate econ. I feel like this game does not revolve around level 3 units. It just revolves around strong late game units, 4-cost units, 5-cost units, putting them together with the right synergy. It's also a thing you can recognize if you watch high elo games and low elo games, is that in low elo games there are multiple people who have 1, 2, 3 or even 4 units who are level 3, excuse me, who are level 3 in the comp, while in high elo you see that nobody has level 3 champs, like nobody. This is because everyone prioritizes econing and collecting units on the bench for a possible level 3, uh, just, disables the econ you could have got. What item do you have here? What did you make? Oh, you got a complete item. Okay, fine. Still, you have unfinished components on your bench, which you should have used already. You still have the Shen on the board, which you haven't used a single time. Same goes for the cannon. You got the Kha'Zix on your bench for a really long time. This is all wasted gold. Yeah, you see how unreliable your Garthus is. Just got vanished by the Akali. And if it gets disrupted by AoE, you're also a bit screwed. Okay, putting Titanix on the Garen is fine if you're gonna sell him straight away. Um, I mean, Titanic in general is just a bad unit, but make sure to put it on a champion with a lot of health. Maybe you could have put it on the Zed, because he has a lot of health with because he's level 3 and he auto attacks a lot, right? Garen doesn't necessarily auto attack a lot. He just, uses his ult. He's pretty much in his ult all the time, so he's not gonna use up the Titanic Hydra. So you decide that this is the time for you to pivot and finally use the Shen and the cannon and the Kha'Zix. Hmm. I think putting items on the Shen is a bad choice here. Hextech on the Zed. Yeah. I mean, you don't think you have enough, yeah, other choices at the moment. But Hextech is bad. I think Shiv is bad late game. Hush is really good, but maybe you can put the Hush on another unit next time, so you have space left on a hyper carry level 3 set. Make sure when you go assassins to put them on a line as much as possible, because if an opponent stacks his team right here, it locks here, right? So they don't walk forward and they don't walk forward, which which means your assassins have a hard time jumping behind the enemy team. So you want to draw out the opponent, make sure that they walk forward, so your assassins can do the work on their backline. So you don't win this, yeah. at this point, I don't think. Oh, you pivoted? Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, you definitely panicked here, right? And the opponent's just really strong as well. So I think you could not have done anything better this late in the game. Um, just some final notes. You got second here, which is good. Should be happy about it. The reason you got second here is because you had a great early game. Um, and a great mid game, right? Because you had the Z very early, you had the bike very early, you had the K6. So it was clear from the mid game what comp you wanted to go, or at least what basis your comp should have. So in this case, you had a very clear assassin base. Even with the knight, you had a clear knight base, but you kind of threw the game late. Okay, because first, I mean, yeah, going for ninjas, I don't think four ninjas are strong at all. This is just a matter of recognizing what comps are good or not. Um, you mentioned in your own description of this video that you don't want to force comps like some other people do, like with forcing nobles and just tunnel visioning on one or two comps each game. I think this is a really clear mindset. Very good. Uh, that being said, though, you still need to have a grasp on what is meta and what is not meta. I think at this point there are a lot of meta comps. For Ninja is not one of them. You could have gone 3 Ninja with pretty much everything else, with Knight, with Brawler, um, but you decided to go for Ninjas. And if we look back at the game, like how many rounds did you have an unused Shen on the board? Or a unused cannon? If you want to go um, the route of Ninja, just make the pivot much earlier, right? Like sell your knights and just put them in. So I think you know what to do at sometimes, like very well, on a pretty high level, I would say. I mean, despite from the first round, your uh, early game decisions and mid game decisions were really good. I would have probably made the same decisions. And you got lucky with the shops as well. So this is why you got second. That being said, I think you should work on your APM, so your actions per minute, because you're a bit slow on the reroll and deciding on what you're gonna do. You need to keep in your head at all times, okay, I'm gonna do this, so I need to find this kind of champion. Like, if I'm going to go Brawler, Sorcerer, if I need to reroll hard, I just say out loud every time when I reroll Brawler, Sorcerer, Brawler, Sorcerer, Brawler, Sorcerer. And then take a quick look at it, buy champions you need, and then quickly go, right? I think second, you need to work on your item placement. Because you had a lot of items on your bench unused, even this late in the game. And I think you could have made better items and put them on better champions. Okay, I mentioned that in the video. And overall, you just, the third point, you just panic late game. Um, it happens. You didn't know what to do at that point. But I think, especially if you had such a great mid game and early game, um, if you would have made the mid game even better, like with the things I said, there would have been you would have had much more time late game to not panic, right? Because all the decisions you make early and mid game, they go into the late game, and if you make the right decisions early and mid, it means that you'll end up with higher HP on the later stages of the game, which also means you have a bit more time to either econ or reroll or make your decisions. Overall, your early enemy game is really good. Um, so yeah, I would recommend for the next time, if you want to uh, make a video of your gameplay, maybe mute the Discord sounds a bit. Also, you got second here, right? So you have every reason to be happy with the result. Still, I think you need to, if you want to, if you want to, how do I say this? Make more videos of yourself, which I need to review for you. Make sure it's like a top a 5 to 8 finish, right? Like a game in which you really struggled. Because I think overall you did most things right. Just a few things you could have done better, which could have snowballed you into the late game. For me to say out loud your mistakes, and to really help you, I think it's better that you choose a game next time in which you made more mistakes. Okay? So this is it for now. It might be a long video. I also want to note that I'm not a native English speaker. I said it in my last video, so sometimes I have a I have a hard time to express myself. But I'm working on it because I really like this. Really want to get better at English and presenting myself on YouTube. So yeah, so please bear with me if I am a bit too repetitive sometimes, or if I stumble of my own words. It's all with good intentions. So thank you for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.